This is the Figuring Shit Out podcast. I do not know the episode we are on. I am Bunee Flocks. You already know what I'm about. You know my websites, Bunee Flocks, Silver Syndicate, Loser Perspective. King Author is here in the building, but he might be having some technical difficulties. So we're going to start the show. He may or may not figure out what's going on and come in. Keep trying. But we do have a great guest here. We have Omar Mohammed, super dope entrepreneur. He has a great story, immigrant from Africa, from Egypt. Can't wait to talk to him, get to hear his story. How are you doing today, sir? And what's been going on with you?
I'm doing great. Never been better. Actually, super excited to be here with you guys today and share my story, learn about you and what you guys do. Love watching everything you guys do out there. It's awesome. So
Appreciate
excited
it.
to be here.
Cool, definitely. So I guess our first question we always ask every guest is, what was your figuring shit out moment? So whenever in your life you decided, you thought outside the box, or you became aware of circumstances, or you just figured shit out and it changed your life for the better. Do you have a moment like that?
Absolutely. I think that moment happened to me whenever I got my citizenship, honestly. I worked so hard in my life to become American citizen, to become an American citizen. Back in my mind, I was like, if I could just get my papers or become an American citizen, the world
Right.
would change. But then once I got the papers and became an American citizen, I figured out it really, yes, it's great. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But it really, without the financial freedom, it's not really truly freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without it's you can get sucked into the system and just keep working. And I was like, I need to figure something else out to make sure I'm not just a product of the system. So the moment was like, what could I do to turn things around? And instead of me just working to, to get paid, how could I have more freedom? So that moment was one of the turnaround moments in my life that, like there's a lot of people out there, but that can be in America. But if you don't have the freedom of doing what you want whenever you want to do, are you really free? And that's where it switched my mindset to start thinking about what other ventures, what other ways I could do to actually achieve freedom.
Right. And that's a great question. So was that when you were in Egypt and Africa, did you have a moment there, or a catalyst decision that was like, I want to move to America? Did you always want to move to America? Was there an
Yeah, since I
event
was
or
a little
something that
kid,
happened? Oh, okay.
since I always wanted to. So I don't know if you been to any third world country or any other, like countries in Africa or
I haven't been across the Atlantic. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to Canada. I've been to St. Martin, and I've been to the West Coast. I'm not traveled outside on that side of the world. I want to though. We want to
yeah,
go definitely a few places, but no.
absolutely. So just to give you a little bit, it's beautiful, right? It's gorgeous. Again, I wouldn't trade for the word how I grew up or where I grew up, but it's
Mm-hmm.
different, right? The opportunity. I just got back from there, and it's just different, right? There's not as much resources or opportunities like here. Like there's always that thought that there's something when I was a little kid that there's something more behind the ocean, right? I always
Right.
wanted to come to America. Like as I remember as a little kid watching like the movies or whatever. I knew one day I'll come here. I just didn't know how.
Nice.
I remember talking to my friends or, even my family members, my dad, my uncles, and they're like, "Yeah, you and every single person want to
Did
go
they?
to America."
Oh, did they? They didn't have aspirations of that. That was a dream, I guess
It's
you
some
developed.
Yeah, like ever like there's a moment in life when you just feel like maybe during college you trying hard and things just not working out, and you were like, I need to try. You hear about like how like it could happen, how could America, like you hear all these stories and you just wish for a chance. And
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky and blessed to have the chance to come here, so
Right. Gotcha.
that
And,
was
and
definitely a moment.
so how did that develop? Like, I get, what age did you come? How did you manage? How did that process? How did you find the means to come over here and come across?
Absolutely. So I was in college, and I was in the second year of my college. I was studying business information system. And
That's a nice
then
one. Yeah.
yeah, and then my friends all knew like my dream was to come to America, right? I just wanted to come to America. It wasn't like like during college, I was working a full-time job. I was a cold caller for an American company, actually, like just
Oh,
like
yeah.
as if you would hire a virtual assistant or something. So I was
Mm-hmm.
cold caller. I was getting paid probably about like $30 a month. So it wasn't a whole lot of money, but over there it was all right. It was paying for my college and I was saving a little bit more. And man,
Okay.
I was crushing it on the phones.
Nice.
And my boss would pull me aside and be like, Omar, you know what's crazy? He was like, you don't have the best accent. You don't have the best talent here when it comes to sales. But dude, you're making 300 calls where everybody else is making 100. Why are you making so many calls? Your fingers don't stop.
Right.
And I was like, bro, I want to go to America. You know,
There you go. That's it.
see, I had a reason, I had a reason,
Right.
and I
Motivation
was
there.
crushing it, right? Yeah, there was a reason, and that's why I always say people will do the work. People are willing to pay if they see the promise. There's a promise
Right.
and a pay. I was willing to pay the price because I saw the promise at the end. But yeah, I
Nice.
was I was in college and I was telling my friends about like my goals and I really want to go to America. And then my buddy came one time with the best news ever. He was like, "Hey, meet this guy. He just came from the States, and there's a program. You can go to America for 3 months. They get you a job there, and you just stay there
Mm-hmm.
for 3 months and come back." At that point, all what I wanted is just to go see America, work for 3 months, make a little bit of money, and come back. But when I came here, I was like, "This is
The
the
goal. He's trying to stay. He didn't
yeah."
want to go back. That's
Nope.
good.
I mean,
That's
I
good.
took I took the biggest decision in my life, and I called my mom and I said, "Mom, I think I'm staying." And of course, I was 20 years old. I was a little kid. And then she
Right.
was
Right.
like, nobody. Like, how is it there? Like, when am I going to see you? I was like, I don't know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then I stayed. And here we are now. I actually just brought her
I saw.
back
Yeah.
with me to the States. Yeah,
Did she
it's
like it?
amazing.
You showed her
She,
around.
she's loving it. Yeah, I actually just got home. We went out and took her out in the city.
That's
We
dope.
went shopping. Yeah, she's loving it, man. She's loving it. I couldn't be more thankful to
That's
to
dope.
do that.
That's dope.
Yeah,
So I think I want to let's speak a little bit about the contrast, right? The difference in American life and African Egypt. Like so when you ask me if I've been to a third world country, I haven't been, right? So I have my experience would only be whatever I see in movies, media. I don't have real world experience over there, but coming over here and living here now being a citizen, what are some of the stark contrasts that you can identify that was from your life experience from being over there to living over here now?
yeah. So what you mean, like some of the big major differences, and
Right, right. Culturally, financially, economically, freedom wise, anything.
so absolutely. So we'll talk about like culturally, like culture there. There's definitely a lot more like history. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could see like there's more. It's very diverse here. But in Egypt, I would say, or in Africa, for the countries I visit or had friends from, or in Africa, um, culture is like very like people are more holding to it. Like the culture is something big. Like as an example, there are
Tradition,
things,
right?
yeah, traditions and cultures. There's just like it's almost like religion. Like you cannot like it's very even
You can't,
religion too.
you can't
You gotta
deviate
be
from the norm. And if you deviate, you're weird or ostracized or whatever.
yeah, it's different. Yeah, people like this is just what's known. It's starting to become a lot more westernized.
Okay.
um, you know, but there's still a lot of things where, as an example, you always respect your elders. Like there's no way, even like no matter what, like so
No
now you
matter
just
if
always
even if they disrespect you first or
it
anything.
doesn't matter. Like you would see people as an example here could talk back to their dad or their mom. Like I would never talk back to my dad. You know what I mean? No
Right,
matter
right.
what, he's good, he's bad. You just take it as it comes. There's some stuff like that when it comes to culture and tradition. The food, there's a lot more when you talk about a country that's a lot older. The
Mm-hmm.
food, the stuff like here, I don't think in America we have an actual tradition, meal or the
Right.
food is better. The family, I'll tell you, families are way bigger. There's people here. I'll be like, yo, when is the last time you called your mom? And you'll be like, I don't know, man. Over
Yeah,
there,
I
it's
can speak to that. Not me personally, but I got family that in the Bronx. They'll literally live walking distance from each other, blocks away. Haven't seen each other in years. Holidays, birthdays pass. They don't see each other, and it's sad, really. But you go like literally, your
you know,
grandma's living right there. You can just walk down the street, say happy birthday. But I don't know. It might be a cultural thing. I'm not sure, but
But no, over there, dude, there hasn't been a day when there's like at least maybe 10, 15 people at my house till like 4 a.m., 6 a.m. Family,
right.
Cousins, aunts, uncles, my mom's cousins, like every day there's people around, there's food, the neighbors, like the whole street will gather.
So it's
like
tight knit, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's culture wise is there for sure. But if we talk about opportunity and economic, you just have so much opportunity here. Like the opportunity here, and I think if Patrick Bet David, I'll steal that from him. He's an author. He's also an entrepreneur, and he has a company called Valuetainment. He does a lot of content, and he talks about America is the only country that has the word dream after it. There's no Spanish dream. There's no Mexican dream. There's no Egyptian dream, but there's the American dream. And
that's crazy. Yeah, that's a true statement.
Yeah, and that just in itself is like, amazing. Thinking about it is literally over here. You can come here. You can, and he completes it by saying, you can come to America and buy something and call it yours. And he really relates that to the business. He was like, the big companies, America attracts the best immigrants, the hardworking immigrants, because immigrants can come here, can buy a house, and they can call it yours, can own a piece of America.
Facts.
So if you want to attract the good employees, you gotta give them a piece of it. You can't just keep all the profit. And America does that very, very well. You can come here if you're talented, you work hard.
Oh,
look
I'm
at
sorry.
that.
There you go. Oh my God, he's joined us.
I knew you could, but I want to cut him off. Yeah.
Finally, bro. What was going on with you,
bro?
The
reboot, Adam, man, that shit was tweaking, bro. You had to reset that. You had to do a hard reset. Didn't have to update them. You know how the technology go, Brody.
That's great, bro. So Omar, let me try to catch you up. Okay, yeah. Omar.
Perfect.
King Omar.
What's going on, King?
I'm sure you would have had some great questions.
Doing,
let me catch you up. I don't know if we should run it back. I don't think we should. We talked about
leave it just like this.
Okay, so where were we? We were talking about culture.
We were talking about give them a piece of it. If entrepreneur, if you want to attract the good businesses like America attracts good immigrants, you got to give some of the profits to them, the land of opportunity. We're talking about why America is great.
That's important. And
we all love America, right?
Yeah. And it's funny. It's like depending who you ask, right? And every opinion is valid, right? Let's put that out there. Everybody has their own opinion. Every opinion is valid, but this country does provide many benefits. I mean, where else can you start from the bottom and make it to the top, right? What's Drake's song, 0 to 100, started from the bottom, now we here. Like that opportunity here, there's, like you said, there's people that come from other countries, come here with next to nothing and make a life, make a living, become something greater than what they could have in their original country. So, and that no matter how you feel about America, or politics or culture, or whatever, that's something that nobody could take away from this country. You know what I'm saying? I feel like 100%. It's important, and people should be aware of that. Again, no matter how you feel, you could start with nothing and make your way and find yourself financially, career-wise, entrepreneurially in this country. And I think that's dope.
Not just that, to be honest, like to add to that, not just to find your way, you can even beat people here, like competition-wise.
Right.
Like, and I find this a lot with some of like the young people. And I mean, I'm young too, but like a lot of people that I speak to, they might be like, hey man, I don't know, just because the way I look, maybe because of my skin color, I will never become high in this corporate, or because the way I speak or the way I dress or my religion or whatever. And I was like, dude, that's bullshit.
It is. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easier. I might say somebody else might have it easier. I'll tell you, somebody else might have had it easier than me because they didn't have to learn English. But I'm not just going to sit here and be like, King is going to own all the real estate and O is just going to have to work as a dishwasher because my English is broken. No, I'm going to go learn while he's playing video games. I'm going to go, study. I'm going to go learn. And then one day I will just pass him, even though that he had more skills or had more resources, not skills. I could surpass somebody because I put the work in. And in America, I feel like it's unlimited opportunity to anybody. I don't think opportunity knows racism. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? Opportunity is not going to pick. Opportunities out there. The resources might have been
they'll be different and very
right. I could have been born to rich parents that I didn't have to, do that. But also, I wouldn't be who I am right now. So that's why I try to
Right.
tell a lot of people is it really is out there. You might have to work harder than somebody else because your upbringing, but if you put the work in, I promise you, you can
100%.
surpass it.
You got to
Wait,
drive, you make it.
you're from Puerto Rico, right?
No,
Bro.
Egypt.
Egypt, bro. I'm looking at the flag. I don't know nothing. I'm ignorant. It's fine. It's fine. It's
I'm
okay.
Puerto Rican. No, we do look. Yeah, he can pass.
No,
he can pass
y'all.
It's broad enough.
Two questions. Frank, where else have you been outside the country, Frank?
He asked me that.
I've been
Nowhere. Oh, you asking him? Or me?
Okay. No, I'm asking you. Frank.
Oh, yeah. I just been to Puerto Rico, St. Martin, Canada, the West Coast, and I've never been on past the Atlantic Ocean or Pacific. Yeah,
Omar, where else have you been?
I've been to Dubai. I've been to England. I've been to France, and I've been to
That's
Italy.
where you want to go. Crazy, yeah. What about you, bro?
How long have you been? How long have you been to the States?
How's what?
How long have you been in the States?
9.5 years, going on 10.
9.5 years, and you love it here, right?
Man, I would more than anywhere else.
What are some of the best things? Like I heard you talking about it, but what's like the number one? Like the number one thing you said is like the land of opportunity, right? You can do anything or be anybody you want to be, right? And you chose to be what?
I chose to be who I am. I chose to be like, a real estate investor, a coach, mentor. I chose to be, freedom of speech. There's such
Nice.
there's no way to like. There's no enough words can describe the difference, or choose who to be. Like if you want to say like who am I now? Like is that what you mean right now, or what did I choose to be? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So, man, it's a loaded question. I feel like it's good. Like literally,
Where's the catch? Where's the punchline coming in?
Well, because so basically, I was going to ask the question of what would you say to somebody who's been here their entirety, right, in this country, the land of opportunity, right, and you've been here such a short, finite amount of time, right, and you've done whatever you've done, compared to somebody who's coming from where you come from, right, seen a little bit different things, and then come here and then see things a little differently. What do you say to somebody that's been here and doesn't see the opportunities that you may see or take advantage of?
Yeah, so if they don't think there's an opportunity here, I don't know where they've seen. They need to do some searching. There's I can't remember a name, but there's a pyramid of needs, right? Like people over there, like I think about it when I'm here sometimes, and I'm thinking about the problems I'm having, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I was back in Egypt, I was talking to one of my friends, and I'm talking about problems I'm having in the business, about the next investment. I'm refinancing on a property. And he looked at me and he was like, dude, I would do anything to have these problems. And man, that hit home. That really hit home. I really sat down like this, and then I looked and I was like, wow.
There's always a different perspective.
I really would have back. I would have done anything to be here and pay. So what I would tell somebody that doesn't see the opportunity here is really, I don't think there's anything somebody can come and tell you and show you to get you turned on. Like I would want to know what got them turned off, right? Because you go on social media, it's not like back in the day where there was no way to see people making it. You're scrolling through your Instagram, you're getting a pitch from somebody showing you their Lambos. I don't know if they're lying or not, but the opportunity is out there, right?
It
like you can hear. You will see me talking, about like how I went from nothing to owning 6 units in real estate, to like having my own construction company, to like traveling. All that is out here just by doing the work. If somebody doesn't see this opportunity, I would say definitely they need to read.
That's true. Are you looking for a media agency that covers all the creative tasks that make a business successful? Lucid Perspective produces elegant, high-resolution graphics and logos, high-definition and 4K video, complete with treatment concepts and innovative editing. Lucid Perspective provides photography services such as fashion, advertisements, product or service, and aerial photography. We also help businesses build their brands from the ground up with complete campaigns that will make your business attractive to your target audience. We can bring your brand to the masses with our effective and strategic marketing campaigns to include sales funnels, eye-catching advertisements, breakthrough digital marketing through social media, and other digital avenues. Visit lucidperspective.com today.
They just need to read and see people doing it.
I think there's also some people, it's almost like no matter what you tell them, if they don't see it for themselves, right? If their mindset isn't in a place where they can see an opportunity or they can see it for themselves, they won't go there in the mind. And so they won't go there in the physical, right? So, and it's funny, people could look at, somebody coming from another country who's been here for 9 years and do all these things. And then I wonder, is like, are you thinking why that person could do it and you can? Like, is it just not available for you? Or where's the insecurity? Where's the failure? So I don't know. It's just, I think it's something internally that somebody either has to wake up, become aware of, and then want a change, want to be different, or, just continue doing what you're doing and be where you're at.
I think it's a purpose back. It goes back to the purpose. It's your why. There's people that come here too and don't do anything or end up in jail, right? So I think you have to have a true reason. When people ask me all the time, hey, how can I just jump on the phone and make 100 calls and get some sales? I was like, if you really need to know how that, you will just go Google it and YouTube. Right. You're not going to wait to come and talk to you. I didn't have to sit down and have somebody come and be like, hey, when are you going to go and get off the couch?
Right.
I just didn't have that because I had a strong why. And that's where everybody got to go start. They got to have a will and a why that makes them, no matter what, get out of the bed when it's time and just go out and do it. So if there's no reason to do it, they're gonna.
You can't tell. There's nothing you can tell someone that's not there mentally, emotionally, and all that. So, okay. So when you came here, how much time passed before you made your first purchase in real estate? Was it within a few years? Did it take a long time? Was it hard? Was it easy? Were you surprised that you could do it, or like what was the story behind making your first purchase here?
I love that question. So it took a while. I actually just started in real estate 2 years ago. So my first 7 years, my first 7 years, I worked for a company. And I've been just crushing it there, climbing the corporate ladder.
Nice.
When 4 years was this company, I was getting paid over 100K. Nice. Like big sales executive position. And I was just continuing. I wasn't ever thinking about like investing or owning my own business. But then, to be honest, corporate turned me off. I start figuring out the more you climb up, it's not about the work or talent or how much you give. It's about who you know. And that just wasn't, politics. I didn't want anybody, politics.
Definitely politics.
It turned me off, dude. I was like, I can't do that. I can't be working. There's so much I want to achieve. There are so many goals. And when is my next move? And they were like, you need to hold on a little bit. You've just been moving. I was like, I'm willing to hold, but I just want to make sure like I'm moving the right direction. Like, you tell me what I need to do. I'll take 0 vacations. I'll go turn territories around. I'll take sales teams that are about dead, ready to be sold, and make them to the number 1 teams. I was just crushing it. And then when I start feeling like the more you climb up is more about like the politics, I start thinking, I was like, I need to do something for my own. And I just couldn't, once I got my citizenship and I wanted to go back home, see my family, see my mom, I was like, God forbid anything happen and I need to fly back. The most they will give me is just a vacation time. It's not freedom. I want the money to come in while I'm not there. And I was like, there has to be a way. So I start searching, reading, Googling how to get rich. What's passive income? Is there such a thing as passive income? I got in front of penny stocks.
Oh, wow. Did you mess with those? Oh, God.
No.
That had to be horrible.
Yeah, dude. No, I start reading about them and I was like, nah, I'm out of here. It just didn't work
it's
out.
Like crypto. Right.
Yeah.
Buying crypto
was too violent.
Less than a penny.
It didn't work out. So I moved to real estate, start reading about real estate. And then I met out with a friend that was into real estate, and he was like, hey, dude, just you're really good at sales. Go find me some properties. I'll buy them. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, find me a property for like, let's say it's beat up, bad shape, use your skills, negotiate it down to like 50K and, sell it to me for 55. And I was like, well, what? So I go home, started researching all that stuff, how to find properties, how to find vacant houses. And then I just kept pull the list, start cold calling, and I found a couple deals, and then I
Mm-hmm.
was able to sell them to people. And then I was like, I can't just keep selling them. I need to find a way to own them. And my friend was like, you need money to own them. But I kept hearing about people saying, there is ways to get into real estate with no money down, zero money down.
Mm-hmm.
And I read, did the research for 2 weeks. Third week, I was on the phone cold calling, and 2 months after that, I got my first deal.
That's
What's
crazy.
cold call? Wow. Yeah.
I love cold calling, dude.
Yeah.
I would cold call all day.
King, you missed it when he was offline. He was talking. He was in Egypt and he was doing like 300 cold calls a day at a company he was working for.
Yeah, I probably talked to you then.
Yeah, and
what
everyone else
was
was
it
doing.
for? What kind of company was it for?
Oh, it was like when like it's like SEO, like Google, like search optimization. Mm-hmm. So it's like, let's say you're a plumber in Virginia, and like and whatever. Say, let's say here in Pittsburgh, you're a plumber, and somebody come in, Google like a plumber near me. We work on like having Google ads on smartphones, where we'll move your business up on Google. So SEO, and then some YouTube ads, and just marketing. So I would just call businesses, trying to get them to be like, yeah, do advertising for me.
300 calls a day versus everybody's office doing 100. Yeah, that's big numbers.
Yep, 120.
And he was doing that because he was trying to come over here. He wanted to come over here.
Well, doesn't everybody? And so I won't say everybody. We remember a girl watched the show. What is it, 90 Day Fiance? And me and her was like, why does everybody just want to come over here? That's when they find but a lot of people want to go over there too. But when they go over there, they always acting a fool. So anyways.
That's how you really feel, King.
That's what the TV showed me, bro. I don't know nothing. I ain't been nowhere. That's why I can't even like in the
That's
conversation. I can't even.
Yeah, you were asking us, and
yeah. Nah, I ain't know.
Where you been?
I've barely been to a few states. You know what I mean? Like I've been to Texas.
No, dude, you gotta travel, dude. It will change your perspective.
I told him,
I promise.
Nah, yeah.
You gotta travel.
I hope so.
But people want to come here again because everyone's come to America now, and I was saying, because it's true. The American dream, like capitalism, is such, like, I love capitalism. I'm a huge capitalist because it really says that the money belongs to the hand of the people. You can start, you can go buy something and fix it and selling and make profit. You could start a small service and make profit. You could start business. You can buy something and rent it out and make profit. And America, is providing that. Like, there's a lot of money in the system, and so the economy.
Is that so? In Egypt, is it different there? So I guess let's get some background. Is because I don't know. I'm ignorant. I guess, is Egypt a capitalist state? And does it,
so that will become like it's tougher to say because it depends on literally who you ask. But it just there's not as many like resources or as many. Like the economy is not at the place where you could do something like that.
Right. So the chances for someone to come from nothing and make a business, build a business up is less than it is here, is what you're saying.
It's almost not existent.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
almost. So unless you're born rich, to be honest. And even if you're born
classism. So it's one of those things, like you're born with it or not. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's
very, very, very. I don't know anybody that was like almost self-made. It's just very few.
Okay.
If any.
And that's that's out there. That's, you know what I'm saying? So people coming for that. Like America, anybody can come from anywhere. Even here, you could be born here with nothing and make something of yourself. I mean, we all have examples. We all seen examples of that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I love real estate. Real estate, honestly, I mean, that's just what I know. Real estate, the game of real estate is like, it's all based on hard work and how much you give it. Not like any corporate or any other job where you would know somebody, you might get these or get that. Real estate rewards hard work and what you put into it. So
what kind of hard work? What kind of hard work you talking about? Like plumbing, or you like just like you saying cold calling, or like
so
shaking hands, kissing babies?
Because that's a good question. People think, oh, I have to do a lot of work myself. I'll tell you, I probably didn't do anything by my hands, barely anything. It's hard work. It depends. Just like hard work could be in like waking up early and working on yourself and listening to the podcast. Hard work could be, learning how to save a little bit and not drink, out every Saturday and save that money. It depends how you translate hard work, but people have sometimes is like, man, it seems so hard because the word hard work, it is so hard to go do that. It's actually not hard because it's hard to do it. It's hard because it's easy not to do it. If that make any sense, it's so easy not to get out of bed.
Right. Okay. I follow.
Do you
That makes
follow?
sense.
So that's
It took a minute. Yeah.
Yep. So a lot of time people are like, "Oh my God, it's hard work," and it's hard work to just cold call, or it's hard work to read a book or get into real estate. But what I mean by hard, like I'd rather say instead of hard work is it's not hard work. It's just easy. Always, it's easy not to go to the gym, right? It's not hard
Very
to go to the
easy.
gym. You
Very
get in your
easy.
car and you're
Very
there.
easy not to diet. Very easy not to work hard. Very easy not to go to the gym. It's the easy way out, right? And then you'll see the fruits of that lack of labor, which will be nothing, which will be the same, which will be what you have where you are already. So that's a true
And I
statement.
think everything I have achieved for discipline. It's not really that hard of work. It just like even when I was selling at a store, everybody else was sitting in the back scrolling their phone and I was standing by the door, right? And I wasn't. They might have been a better salespeople. They might have been, they probably had a better, English, but they were sitting on their phone and I was just standing at the door because it was so much easier to sit on your phone than actually go there and take the customer. And I think people just overcomplicate it. But if you learn how to beat that easiness and just don't worry about it and just, okay, I'm going to show up no matter what,
Right.
you'll achieve it.
So that hard work is doing the easy stuff.
Doing it very well. Consistency. Let's say that.
Oh, okay.
Doing it
Okay.
consistency. The easy stuff, consistency. The small little stuff. So if it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to look for a property. Let's say let's keep it real estate.
There I'm gonna go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Okay, let's do
you
real
want the
estate.
You want the real estate gems.
All right, let's do that. Okay, how do I get in real estate? First, I need to, if you're just starting out, okay, I know I need to get in real estate. I'm gonna read about real estate for 1 hour a day. I'm gonna buy a book. I'm gonna listen to a podcast, whatever it is. You know nothing about podcasts. I'm gonna go watch that dude named Omar on Instagram or whatever. I'm gonna try DM 3 people, and I'm gonna attend 1 seminar a month. And you stick to that goal. It's just a small goal, like about learning. Now you start learning. Oh, you know what? They're talking about cold calling and pulling a list. Your goals are gonna start to add up, right? So you first start learning. Now learning without action is nothing. Just information. You have to take action. So you've learned some information. Like, let's say I'm telling you right now, there's people out there that are willing to give you your house for free. Oh, what you have to do is call them. Your next question will be like, okay, where do I get these people numbers? I say, hey, you go into that app, you pull a list, and you start cold calling. Then your goal becomes every day I'm gonna cold call for an hour or 2 hours.
It's a numbers game from there, yeah.
Yep, and then it just keep adding.
I need the app name.
The what? The cold calling?
Yeah, I need the app name. What's up?
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, the app name. I hear you now. Sorry. There's so many apps. There's PropStream. There's called PropStream, and you can pull a list. So you could go to propstream.com and sign up. I think it's like $100 or $120 a month, and then you can pull a list. There's vacant lists. There is tired landlord, people who had properties, had people maybe didn't pay. There is absentee owners, so people who own houses. There's senior owners, people who are older owning properties. You can pull all these kind of lists, and I have a video of my favorite list. I'll share it with you.
Nice.
DM it, and then dude, you just smile and dial. I'll tell you, there's some of these lists I made $60K out of one call.
So wait,
I didn't make it in paper. I didn't make it in paper. I made it in equity, but one call I made $60K.
I think I'm missing something.
$60K.
I think I'm missing something here. So this is a call to buy people's property that they're looking to sell, or you just call someone who owns something and ask if they want to sell it to you. Is that the case?
Wholesaler.
Yeah. The second option is right. So let's step back a little bit since we're talking about real estate. So what I would do is first I learned what a deal, right? What is equity? What is the numbers in real estate are? So once I learned that, I knew like, okay, here's somebody that has a problem. You stop looking for houses, you look for problems, right?
Nice.
Somebody that
Yeah.
has problem that would be willing to sell their house at a discount would be somebody that has a vacant house, somebody going through divorce, right? Just want to
Mm-hmm.
sell quickly for cash. Somebody
Right.
that
Short sales, maybe. Yeah.
short sales, somebody that's like they're getting the bank is going to foreclose on them. Somebody that has to move out of town. How about somebody died and somebody else live in California, own their
Mm-hmm.
is the inheritance? They want nothing to do with it until the person died. They weren't living in the house. There's a squatter there. They just want 10K and they just want the pain gone. They
Right.
want
Right.
you to take the pain away. These are
Pain
old
point, yeah.
problems. Once you fix the problems, you make money. So I look for these problems and I come up with solutions. And once I fix the
Thanks.
solutions, I know where I can make the profit, and I bought some of them without
That's
any
nice.
money. You can borrow the money, right? You can
Right.
go to a
Right.
lender, borrow the money, fix it. Once it's fixed and done. So let's say I borrowed 50K, fix the house. Now that's fixed, it's worth 90. I go back to the bank, they will give me 70K mortgage on it. I take the 70, put 20 in my pocket, pay the dude the 50 that I took, and I have a house for 30 years mortgage, and I rent it out.
That's
That
the
mortgage is
real
mortgage is six
estate
hundred
game
dollars.
is very lucrative, right? I've
Yep.
I've been looking into it. I have a property. I own this property, and then I got properties in my family. It's always those things. Like every now and then, I'll be in the rental real estate bug, watching videos, like you said, just trying to learn about the business. But I've never executed that step of actually just going to buy some aside for living, for myself, buying a property, getting a loan for as an investment to flip it, to rent it out, to
Right.
whatever. So like I know it's coming down the pipe, what I'm saying, sooner or later, but it's very lucrative. Like we talked to another realtor and he was saying
Mm-hmm.
it's the fastest way to become a millionaire. And I truly believe that. Like there's many ways to make money, right? Let's be real. There's many ways to make money. But when it comes to real estate, it's just one of those things. If you do it right, even if you make mistakes, you learn from those, you do it right, and you come up really, really quick. Yeah, King, you gotta get a house, bro. King, go ahead, get your house,
That's a
bro. You
fact.
should have
Bro,
been.
who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Tell me
Let's
something
go.
I don't know, dog. That's a
Let's
fact.
go, man.
Yo, King, what's stopping you? Tell me. Here, we'll do it right now.
Man.
He's gonna find your problem and
Boom.
fix it for you. Let's go.
Here you go.
Nah, it's definitely the credit though. Like not
Is it
Mhm.
credit?
like
But that's
yeah,
good
it's
though,
definitely
because
credit.
probably
That's
some
all.
people that are listening to us can relate. So just
Definitely.
so credit. So I'll tell you what, credit is definitely important. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you if you have bad credit, it shit will be easy, but it still can be done. You want to know how?
What's up?
All right. So let's say your credit is really bad. First of all, you have two
Okay.
ways, right? You can go fix that credit, and
Okay.
might be like by getting a second job or paying the money down. That's one way. Now here's the second way, and you're gonna really like that, but it's gonna take some hard work. What that way is, you can still pull a list. You can still pull a list and cold call. And there's people. I bought 3 houses, and I think I posted a reel about that today. I bought 3 deals, and nobody asked me about credit, social security, none of that. Because what you can do is in real estate, if you learn creative finance, you could skip the bank, you could skip the credit check. What is seller finance? Let's say Omar owns a house right now, and I just need to sell this bad boy real quick, right? Or I just need to sell it, and King comes in and he was like, "Hey Omar, like I want to buy your house. Do you know the regular buying a house? What's the process of buying a house just regularly?"
Going to the bank, them paying over the mortgage and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah.
Running your credit, running your income.
You put
all that.
20% down and all that stuff. Now, that's the regular way that most people do. Now, people who don't have money, what they could do or credit, you come to Omar and be like, listen, instead of me going to the bank and putting 20% down on financing, why don't you become the bank, Omar, and make interest? I'll be like, interesting. What does that mean? You're like, okay, we'll make a contract. It's a seller finance contract, and you will have a lien against the property. So if King doesn't pay Omar, Omar can foreclose and take his property back. And what does that mean is, how does the bank make their money? They give their money to King. King goes, pay Omar, and King pays the bank with interest every single month. So we end up over 20 years paying like double the price of the house. So you could pay me the mortgage and the interest, and I give you the keys for the house. And all what I have, we just skip the bank. I become the bank. So every month I'm collecting on my money. So I'm giving you the house. I'm collecting interest on that payments. So every single month I'm making payments. Now there's another benefit for me as a seller to do that. That is because I don't pay a whole lot of taxes
Oh,
because I didn't make a
wow.
big purchase. I'm just
Right.
making monthly. I'm just gaining monthly payments, right?
Mhm.
And if I wait 20, 30 years, add like 3-4% interest, you see how much more money I make versus if you give me the 50, 60, 70, 200K now. Over the years, I
Upfront.
collect all my. So it could be mailbox, easy money coming to your every single box. I'll buy the house right now. I'll take it as is. You don't have to clean nothing. Don't have to do anything. And I'll work on the papers and I'll send it your way. And if I don't pay, you take your house back.
That's crazy. I never heard
Very,
it. I don't
That
think
sounds very creative.
I
it's
may
called
have heard of
seller
it.
finance.
Seller
I've heard
financing.
it a couple of times in a couple of podcasts. I know David Shans, he talks about it a lot with the building he rented out for his podcast studio. So yeah.
That's
Yeah, so there's ways. There's
so
ways.
that bypasses the bank as far as uh doing a credit pull and all that with the bank directly. Is that a correct
Yep.
statement?
There is
Nice.
no credit. You just literally
Wow.
they
So
deed the
the
property to
owner,
you.
so the owner continues to pay the mortgage, but
No.
the interest and no.
So there's two ways. If they own it free and clear, which means they don't have a mortgage,
Right.
you can do this and you pay them the mortgage.
Then
There's a mortgage that's recorded that they become the bank pretty much and they collect payments from you. Now, if they already have a mortgage like I do on this property, there's another thing. Then seller finance is called that's called like a wraparound mortgage. So you will just come in and take my mortgage over, and that's a little bit more complicated. And all that's legal in most states. I'm not an attorney. You know, this is not an attorney, but I've done both, and they
Disclaimer.
both are legal. This is
Right.
there's nothing illegal. There's a contract. You will definitely consult with your attorney. I have a great one that helps me with all that. His name is Brett, and man, he's great with that stuff. So there's a wraparound where I could take your mortgage over, right? Let's say you're
Nice.
foreclosing and you have 5 payments and you can't make it. I'll come pay your 5 payments that you're past due on, and I'll start making the payments from here to now on. You just leave the house, and
Right.
if I don't pay, there's ways to protect the seller and the buyer.
Are you new in town or need a fresh cut on the fly? Let me show you a convenient way to hire a mobile hair care pro now. Simply download the Cuddy app from the App Store. Create a profile and have access to professional mobile barbers and stylists in your area. The Cuddy app allows you to browse for hair care professionals 24/7. View their profile and share your locations to find the nearest one. Once you've found the perfect pro with just a click of a button, have your professional meet you in a matter of minutes. This means no more worrying about running late, waiting for the next chair to open, or missing your appointment completely. Reclaim your valuable time and put your mind at ease knowing your hair care pro is on the way. Cuddy app is the only place to hire a hair care pro whenever you are ready, wherever you are. Cuddy app. Join the revolution today.
And can that also be used as an investment property? So like, I guess the situation we were talking about, that was if King wanted to buy from you to live in, but what if he wants, or we want to do an investment, right? Can the same process work? It's not a house we're living in. We're not going to move in. We just want to buy it to start building a portfolio, build investments. And the same process can work. That's crazy. Okay.
I haven't done it for the one I live in. I did something else called the FHA 2 or 3K loan, which is another great product for people with 0 to low money down. 2 or 3K
Definitely.
loan, worth
That's
looking
dope.
into it. So there's just so many ways. There's so many ways, man.
That's
And all
dope.
what you gotta do is get the knowledge and start doing it. That's why when we go back to our conversation, when people that just don't see it, I just don't feel bad for them, because you literally have zero excuse being young, living in the greatest country in the world, not to make it happen. It just, there's no excuse beside you just don't want to.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, it depends. Everybody's different. You know, people have different upbringings, experiences, but at the end of the day, you can make a choice within yourself to do what you want, break from the matrix, become an entrepreneur, find these ways to get property, start a business. There's ways out of this, bro. There's ways out of the freaking 9-to-5 employee mindset. You just gotta want it bad enough, I feel. You know what I mean? So
100%. Yep.
That's
you got anything, King? You got a question?
No, I was asking Omar, what's his favorite kind of real estate business to do? Are you a wholesaler? Are you a renter? Are you a commercial developer? Because I know Brian, he was a developer, right? So he really didn't deal with a lot of some of the other stuff. So what's your favorite part of the real estate business to deal in?
Yeah, I love the cash flow. So I love renting, right? I mean, I would like multi-units, big multi-units. That's the goal to get to next, is doing bigger units. But I'm looking at it more from, like, I feel like wholesaling and flipping is not investing. You're not a real investing is a business, right? It's like a job. You're a flipper or a wholesaler. You're working on something. When you buy a house,
yeah, I agree.
I invest for cash flow, right? I don't care how much it's going to be worth, if the market is up or down. If the property were cash flow, if I'm gonna, and what do I mean by cash flow? If somebody's listening, don't know. If I owe the bank every single month $800 and I put aside 300 to fix it in case anything breaks down, that's $1,100, and the property is bringing 1,500. That means I have $400 of cash flow.
Facts.
So if it cash flows 400, I'm buying it.
So do you have like a magic formula, like percentage wise? Like, is there amount of cash flow you want to invest? 1%. Okay.
I would do 1% is like the regular, but I try to be above 1%. So what does that mean? If I'm spending $100,000 on this property to buy it and fix it, the rent has to be at least $1,000. That's a 1% rule to make sure you cash flow. For me, I like to be above 1.5 or 1. So I would go buy properties. I will negotiate way lower. So when you buy it right, I will fix it, and then I'll be all in for like 80,000, and it's rented for, 1,400. So crazy, I'm way above the 1%, but at least 400 to 300 to $400, or I will not do a deal. That's or it's not a deal for me. It's not worth it. But I'll take $400 a door all day long coming in from a property I renovated. I'll tell you what, once you get your first, it's addiction.
I feel like I'm close. I feel like I'm close. I got to do something. I mean, I got other things. We got so many things going on. It's not. If I go down the list,
that'd be the problem too.
Yeah,
that'd be the problem.
Trying to be a serial entrepreneur.
So, Brian, tell me what's yours? We heard about credit. We figured with credit, and another thing for credit too, King, you could go still find a deal, and if you get a good deal, people will come and partner with you. I have never heard of a deal that will go undone because of credit or money. If somebody comes find a deal and they have zero money, zero knowledge, people will jump in. My first deal, I had people everywhere. I had the guy under contract for $23K. So it was like a no-brainer deal. So everybody was like, "Hey, let's flip it together. Hey, give it to me and I'll give you 28." So there's definitely ways. So what about you? What's keeping you? What about your hold from getting your first?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a house. I mean, I live here. It's not an investment. I'm paying the mortgage on this. There is no cash flow. There is no cash flow.
You are the cash flow.
I'm the cash flow towards the bank right now, and I live here. So my advantage is I have a roof over my head. It's probably because I'm all over the place. I'm in a lot of things.
That might be our next play. Like, hold on. I think like I promise you, it's some real stuff. Like, because he has 4 different like businesses got going on. I got like 4 that's going on. But when we kind of like hash them all out, iron them all out, when we settle down, I think we'll be able to do a real estate play together because we'll be moving more. We'll probably have more access and more freedom. And like we'll have the time to think about it now.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Our brain is cluttered, dog.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot going on. And it's by choice, right? Like we're working, you know what I'm saying? We got dreams, goals, right? It's funny. He said before, I think you wasn't here, King. He said there is no other country that has the word dream after it, right? Like there's the American dream. I heard that part. Oh, you were here? Okay, yeah. So we're here doing different things, doing different ventures. We might dabble in something for a few weeks or a few months. It's not for us, then we'll drop off. But we're doing stuff, right? So like if I feel like if I were to try to jump into real estate, I'd have to either, if I commit, I got to put all the other stuff to the back burner, and I'm not necessarily ready to do that now. So I'm like, once I get these things manageable and they're managing themselves and cash flows coming from those ventures, I may go into
it's kind of
real estate game.
So to me, it's kind of like the bread on the bread aisle. Like you want a bread aisle, it's like 1,000 different breads, bro. I don't know it's bread to brick, and then you might even so many breads. I don't pick a bread, right?
Right.
or you got to try your bread. You got to come back and I don't like this bread, right? So, then I don't know. Sometimes you're gonna store about 4 different breads. I'm tired of buying different breads. I'm gonna try all these J's, and then you don't come back to the store for a while, right? So
yeah.
No, there's nothing to fix there. You're absolutely right. You should focus. Focus is key because I think you said it earlier too. You can make money in so many different things. And I love the idea of make money, cash flow, and then invest that cash flow. If I would go back, I would probably looking at it now. That's why I start growing businesses because you can get so much faster if you have cash flow already coming and just take that money and buy real estate with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Definitely reinvest. Yeah.
So you make money, get to that point where you have money because what are you going to do with that cash flow? Let's say you have a job, you have a business, and money's coming. What are you going to do with it? Travel and all that stuff. Yeah, it's great, but again, what are you going to do with it? You
definitely
have to
not save
it. Something.
Saving is bad.
No,
I learned.
You're going to go down. You're right.
Don't save.
Go down with it. No, you can't save.
It'll just dwindle in the account or your safe or wherever it is. So saving is horrible. Investing. What is something you would, for any aspiring, not only real estate, but anybody maybe in another country who has dreams of coming to America, any immigrants, do you have any words of wisdom? Because again, you made the journey. It's always been a dream of yours. You made it happen. You came to this country. You're doing big, great things. What words of advice would you have for someone else who may be in your shoes in the past life as you had?
So somebody who just came or underway or something. Yeah. I'll tell you, it's like in the beginning as an immigrant, like you just always think about you limit yourself kind of, and I would love to not have a limit. Like I was always thinking, man, if I could just get a job and get paid, man, if I could just, become a waiter. My dreams were always bigger, but I just never really, understood or learned that no, because most of the stereotyping or you limit your own self because you just don't see or you don't hear about oh, look at that, he's an immigrant or he's from this. It happened with your subconscious mind a lot more that it just becomes you almost believe it that it's for somebody else. So you're just as equal and as talented and you're actually
deserving.
Yeah, it's a great word of that by coming here. So don't limit yourself. That would be one of the biggest advice. Don't limit yourself. Do not, go chase your dreams. And then definitely self-development, dude. I just cannot ever get on a call because again, it's not real estate. It's not the podcast. It's not, the next crypto or whatever is going to come up as that people will make millions. This is not what gets you financially free or gets you to your goals or gets you to success. It's you. I'll tell you, if you take all the money in the world right now and distribute it all equally, it will end up in the same pockets.
I believe it.
100%. It's just who you become.
It'll find its way back.
Cut.
There you go.
My cut, though.
There you go. It will. The people with the mindset will find ways to pull it back to them, right? I was listening to somebody earlier today. I forgot who it was. He was saying, if you want to become financially free, think of ways to put yourself in between a transaction. The people that are paying the money towards whoever vendor or whatever business, put yourself in the middle or figure out how to get that money from them and you'll be good to go. So if you get a bunch of money, bro. Like most people that win the lottery, they blow it in a few years, right? They blow it in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, back at square one. Then they end up selling all the shit they bought. It's just the mindset has to be correct, to be successful.
Yeah.
So,
are you saying folks, go ahead.
No, you good.
No, I was just saying folks who don't earn it don't appreciate it, huh?
I don't keep it either, yeah.
Yeah, not by earning it even. It's not by earning it. It's just they don't know. They don't understand the game. They're not. There's so much more that goes into it than just being in business. Mentally, physically, emotionally, what you eat, what you hear, what you listen, what you surround yourself with. And I used to listen to that stuff early on, and I was like, sure, you definitely want me to get up at 4 and work out. Dude, I got up at 5 and hit the gym. I'll tell you what, if I don't hit the gym at 5, that's the most important thing. Now my mind is clear. I go into somebody was like, hey man, that property that you just bought has a big hole into the roof and I think it's going to cost you $15,000 more. You know what most people do if you're not mentally tough? You freak the fuck out and you just get
Panic.
emotionally, you try
Right.
panic,
Right.
and there's so much that goes into, and it's such a lonely road that you need to be tough. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy because it's hard, because it's easy not to do it, and there's a little bit of difficulty to it because entrepreneurship is a very, very, very lonely road. Most of your
I
friends are
agree.
not going to understand.
I
Most of your
agree.
family are not going to understand. People are going to worry what you do that, like, why are you so like hard on yourself, or why you don't
Mhm.
buy yourself that stuff that you deserve. So you have to be physically,
Why you're working
mentally,
so much.
spiritually. Yeah, you have to be very connected in all these aspects of life for one of them to work. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Mhm.
So personal
Where's the wisdom?
development is, back to your question, work on yourself harder than you work on anything else. That would be the
Definitely.
second advice.
Words of wisdom. That's what's up,
I like
man.
that. I like that.
We appreciate you coming through. This is definitely a dope exchange. We're definitely gonna stay in touch. Well, thank you so much. Oh, before we go, do you have socials?
What's
You want to
that?
drop your website, your socials?
Or anything you
Wait.
promote?
Yeah, anything you promote,
Yeah,
or
I
ways
have
to
I have
contact
the
you?
Instagram right now. I have the Instagram and my website and YouTube. But like we can drop the Instagram will be great. Like
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll be on the
Yeah.
bottom of the
Perfect.
window. It's not gonna look like the other thing, but
Yeah.
cool, no worries. But we thank you so much. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for blessing us
Thank you, guys.
with this wisdom. We will catch you on the other side, and we'll be in touch. Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys. It's been great.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.